This is Alex.
Hi.
And this is Yammin.
You thought, for 1 second, that Yammin was gone once again. But no, by popular request, we decided to bring Yammin back. You know, he got kicked off the show for a little bit, but, you know, since all of you guys were really thirsting for him.
Do you guys know people who you meet where they'll immediately start acting buddy-buddy with you, and they'll, like, put their hand on your shoulder and stuff and be like, ha, ha, ha. You know, people like that?
That sounds like fake people in high school.
That's people I work with.
Jeez, okay.
Elaborate on that. Do you think they're being genuine, or do you think they're just...
I don't know. They're annoying. They bother me. Like, people who you've never met before, who will walk up to you. I don't know if it's just me because I'm a psychopath who doesn't like intimacy or, like, touching people.
I think it's a little bit of that.
But, shut up. Maybe it's that, but also it's just, like, you've never met this person before, and they walk up, like... Hey, bro, and they're like rustling, like they'll like tussle your hair, like flick your hat off your head, or like try to like tease you in like a haha, we're both in on the joke way, and you want to snap their neck. Like, I hate people like that so much. I don't know you.
I can't say I know a specific person like that. No, but that does sound annoying.
I feel like I've had that sort of interaction with people who are maybe like slightly older than me, like a weird uncle. Or maybe like a coach. And I don't mean this in a predatory. I'm not meaning this in a predatory way at all. But there's always like that one. Doesn't even have to be an uncle. I've had aunts like this that are like really overly excited to like see your family, especially if they live a few states over or something, and you're like getting together for the holidays, and they're like, how's my favorite nephew? Come here. Let me squeeze your cheeks. I love those cheeks. So
I'm not talking about that. I think that's just like a family person, like playing up how weird they are. Like, this person is not aware that they're weird. This person is like just completely oblivious to how stupid and annoying they are.
Do you think they bother other people too?
I think they do.
Or do other people just kind of take it in stride? Oh, you've asked. Okay. Then
anytime that something happens like that, I look like the person will like do whatever they're doing, the weird thing that bothers me. They'll walk out of a room, and I'll look up, and all the other people are standing there with like the same like face, like just like I'm uncomfortable, like that kind of stuff. And I go like, "Yep, I'm vindicated. This person's an asshole, and I don't have to talk to them anymore."
I know exactly what you mean, because we've had that exact same situation happen at the pool when we worked together multiple times. And there's, I'm not sure if there are a few people in particular that come to mind in that situation. I'm not going to name them, obviously.
I could.
I mean, if you really want to.
I'm not going to.
Okay. But I'm starting to get what you mean now when you have that it's like it straddles a line of they're not necessarily an asshole. They're just kind of annoying. And you'd rather they just not be there. Like, don't talk to me. Please.
It's like you don't want to make them less happy, but like you just kind of want them to be happy somewhere else, kind of deal.
Because you can see that they're having a blast being an annoying prick,
and you can see they're not doing it on purpose.
This is how non-confrontational I am. Even though they're being annoying and like genuinely disruptive to my life, I won't say anything because that'll make them sad.
Exactly. So you don't want them to stop being happy. You just want them to be happy.
I want them to shut up and never touch me again.
All right, fair enough.
I hate being I think I hate being touched by people I don't want to be touched by more than anything else.
That's fair.
That's funny. I think that's my favorite thing ever. No.
Dude, I fucking love it when homeless guys just like grabbing my arm and like tell me to give them some money. Like, that's the only form of human intimacy I actually am comfortable with.
Like, Yammin, you remember when you brought this up on the podcast before, the girl who in the hallway, or in general, she would like touch my like abdomen and be like, "Oh, you have great abs," or whatever.
Yeah, and then
I made her do it to you. That's because I didn't enjoy it, and I wanted somebody else to suffer. I was really uncomfortable.
That was horrible. It
was really bad.
Going from your chest to mine must have been disgusting. It must have been fucking gross. Like.
Jesus Christ!
Could count the abs as she went down your chest.
The guy she tells you not to worry about.
Yeah, but that was.
It just makes you feel like you. I don't know. Like
you're a piece of fucking meat.
Yeah, exactly. I know that sounds like super cheesy and stupid, but that's exactly what it feels like. It's like, I don't want to be touched. Don't put your hands on me. This is why people who a couple times have been, like I said, I was at a museum once, and then some girl came up and she was like, "Oh, are you this person from Vine?" And then she put her arm around me, and I was like, and then I took a picture, and that was fine, I guess. But I hate that. I hate it so much. And I know that somebody who I meet one day is gonna expect a hug, and I'm gonna stand there and I'll be like, not about it, and they're gonna think Patrick was an asshole, and then put a blog about me.
We've already had an episode called Patrick Hates Hugs, I'm pretty sure.
Patrick hates people love or something like that.
Yeah, people should get the memo by now. You said that you don't want these people to stop being happy. I, on the other hand, would argue that I get so annoyed to a point where I'm just like, I wish I had some sort of ray gun from The Incredibles or something that will literally suck the happiness out of you. And I want you to be as miserable as I am.
I don't think I could bring myself
to
ever do that to anyone.
Deep. He's not describing it like they're evil. He's just like, this person's like really happy, and they're just like happy to see you, and they're like really friendly, and they're like a little too friendly and touchy, and it's like not cool.
It's like it's just how they express what they're saying. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, they put their hand on my shoulder, and that's just something that they do. And it would be like when I do this, if someone, like I'm gesturing with my hands. If somebody came up to me and was like, "You're making me really uncomfortable," and then I would feel terrible, but all I did was gesture with my hands. It would be the same feeling for them if I said, "Don't ever touch me again."
Yeah. It's funny because in the wake of all this Me Too stuff, I've seen a lot of think pieces saying, shitty think pieces, I might add, that say like, office culture is forever changed.
You can't touch women anymore.
Like, yeah, basically, like, you can't touch any.
It's a minefield
like,
of cultural sensitivity.
Hugs are illegal now, and like all this crazy shit. I'm just like,
God.
Honestly, like, this is a stupid point of view, and you're obviously like over exaggerating it. But you shouldn't be touching or hugging anyone that doesn't want to be hugged or touched.
If you're hugging people that don't want to be hugged, that's a problem.
The fact that you felt strongly enough about this to write an article complaining about how you can't hug the women in your office anime.
The women in my office keep complaining that I hug them too much. It's like, good, you're fucking creep.
Take some notes, bud. Maybe there's no reason behind that.
The same, like, when, like, for a while, people would call me Bud. I don't care when you two do it. Like, you're the only two people that I actually talk to often enough where there's a reference to me that isn't just, hey, man. It's like, yeah. So when people call me Bud, sweetheart, honey, stuff like that, if it's not my mom, I don't want that shit.
God damn.
That's fair.
I don't know. Even when my mom talks to me a lot of the time, I've like gotten really good at just kind of stonewalling, not like emotionally, just kind of. She's the kind of person who will just talk your ear off if you let him, and I'm the kind of person who really doesn't do conversation with my parents too much. Like,
absolutely,
I like get along with them just fine, but like my mom is a very typical Hispanic mom who will just keep talking and asking me about stuff.
Sounds like a racist comment.
And if I don't respond like thoughtfully enough, she'll get like upset and say that I don't care, and I'm just like, that's partially true.
Oh, those are the most annoying kinds of talkative people.
Yeah.
Who like are perceptive as well and can tell when you're losing interest. Is like, hey, pay attention while I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Why are you not interested in what I'm saying?
Who will get that weirdly digging about this stupid conversation about like koi fish or something.
Exactly. Why don't you love me enough to care about what I have to say? I was like, I don't know. I wish I knew the answer to that question.
I wish I was better at cutting people off when I'm leaving.
That's a big thing,
and they're still talking to me. I can't leave because then they'll be upset that I left during their conversation. So I always say stuff like, so, and then like I try to stand up and they'll be like, and there was another thing. And I just feel like, oh, God damn it. It's always like unable to leave the conversation without feeling like I made them upset.
Yeah, there's a thing with me when we're at like some kind of gathering with like family, aunts, uncles, whatever. Like, I will usually leave before my parents because they stay there really late and I just want to not be there. But I can't just like get up and leave. Like, I kind of have to say bye. Like, I have to get up, bye, good night, everybody. And I hate doing that to the point where I will stay like an hour longer than I wanted to, just because I've been sitting there thinking about how I'm gonna get up and say goodbye.
Same.
Because I don't want that like 4 seconds where everyone looks at you and they're like, "Where are you going?" And it's like you have to be like, "Oh, I gotta study and then I'm busy. I got work." And then you can't just be like, "I don't want to be here. I want to go play Xbox now. Bye." It's like, yeah, it's late and and this and that and that, and then I have to go.
No, I'm 100% in the same boat. I've gotten like better about it, or I think I've just become so defeatist that I'll just stick around the whole time.
Exactly. I'm exactly like, I'll stay for way longer than I wanted to, just because I can't work up the nerve to get up and say goodbye and like leave.
Yeah, like whenever we visit my grandma in Florida, we usually end up having dinner together, whatever, as a huge family, and then the kids who are like slightly younger than me go off to do like fun stuff, and I'd rather hang out with them. But Same. I'm like considered an adult now, and all the adults stay around the table forever, like for having conversation, and they like have coffee and dessert and whatever.
Fucking nothing.
And so I'm like kind of expected to be there, and I just end up sitting in like 3 hours worth of my grandma's like atheist ramblings instead of going to play like PlayStation with my cousins or something.
Atheist ramblings from your grandma?
Yeah.
That's odd. That's a weird combo.
It's like the opposite of like what most people have to deal with, I feel. But I don't know. My grandma's kind of cool. She tells me, I like this one story she told me where she became an atheist because she was living in Venezuela and she swore to God she saw a UFO fly away from the balcony of her apartment building. And that's when she started to not believe in God as much.
All right.
And I was like,
wait, why is that the... Never mind, I don't care.
It's cool as shit. It's like I'm not doing the story justice, to be honest, but like her whole like reasoning, when she talks about it, it's actually like pretty interesting. And I wasn't like as mad, but when I looked at the clock, I'm like, Jesus, dinner ended 3 hours ago. I've been here so long.
Like family stuff, I'm barely able to like keep attached to the family that I have. And the extended family stuff, I hate the obligation to talk to people that you don't know just because you share blood. I don't care about almost any of my cousins.
It's the worst thing ever. The worst thing ever.
It's so annoying. And I actually, like, I was talking to one of my cousins because one of the only cousins that I keep up with will, like, message me stuff and, like, make fun of my Instagram. And that's funny. So I keep up with her. And, like, one of the things I said to her just out of the blue, I was, like, staring at the messages and I was thinking about cousins in general. And I was just like, I hate the obligation to keep up with your cousins. And she just went off about all the cousins she hates and hates talking to. And I was like, I agree. It's like, this is amazing. I'd have thought that everybody loved each other and I was the only one who didn't like the experience.
That's funny as fuck.
Most of your cousins don't want to see you.
I'm kind of like that in the same way with my dad's side of the family, which is just absolutely fucking massive. That I, like, don't even know everyone, I'm pretty sure. Like, if you asked me to list all my cousins and, like, aunts and uncles, I honestly probably would miss, like, a lot of them.
Fuck that.
Or, like, I don't even remember them mostly. And it's, like, hard to just, like, keep track of, like, family trees and stuff. Especially because a lot of them are, like, way older than me and have their own kids now. So, like, even if I try to match it up by age, I might be, like, completely off by generation. Mm-hmm. Super weird. But, when my uncle has these, like, huge family gatherings, because he has, like, not necessarily an estate, but it's kind of like an estate. And we all just go there to like party and hang out and like eat food and stuff. And I'll see people I have never seen before in my life or vaguely recall meeting once or twice before. And my dad will be like, oh, you remember this is so-and-so, you know, you met them at that wedding or something. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I was like 9 years old at that wedding. Yeah, wow. So I definitely remember you. So yeah, but like, I don't know, I try to be like pleasant about it and try to appreciate having a larger family at least, because I always hear people be like, oh yeah, you know, I was hanging out with my great grandmother and my third cousin twice removed the other day and we were just having the best time. I'm like, how the fuck is anyone that close to people, especially that like distant in their family tree? Like, that's so bizarre to me. Like, it's like immediate family, and then I'm lucky if I still hang out with like a cousin or two. Yeah.
The drop off after immediate family is like, whew, it's like, nobody saw it because it's an audio podcast, but I did like a downward slope, a very steep slope, because it's just like, no.
Yeah.
So like, I have a half brother who is my dad's son in his first marriage, and I knew him a little bit when I was younger, and then he went away and lived his own life. But now there's like this push for everybody to get back together as a family, and he's coming with that. and like I've got his number now, and we never talk. And like he plays like D&D with my other brothers, and then they'll be like, "Do you want to play with I almost said his name with Michael?" And then I'll be like, "Not really. I don't know who that is. I never met him. I don't know who that is, but he's my brother." And like I have all these extended family members. It's like, do I have to? Do I have to know all these people?
If I had to get to know someone like that, and I'm in a similar situation where I have 2 half siblings from my dad's previous marriage who are like way older than me. I have like I'm not super close, but I have like a good relationship with my half sister and her kids. But my half brother I haven't seen in like fucking forever. Same. And we're on like good terms. He just lives really far away. But I'm in a similar situation. But I would say if I had to get to know someone like that, like I haven't seen my half brother in like 10 years probably. Like Same. I would get to know him through something like D&D or like some sort of thing I'm even remotely interested in. I'm glad it's not like, oh, you should get to know your brother. He wants to take you hunting.
So let's
I'd be
all
like,
sit
no,
down and do something stupid.
I'm not gonna go fucking hunting with someone I've never met before. That is
I actually
both
went hunting with my other brother, my sister's husband.
Oh, the Yeehaw Nation.
Shut up. You might listen to this. He'll come get you, Pinion.
No, I'm just joking. But
he'll come get you and report you to ICE.
One of my other cousins actually got picked up by ICE, but that's like that's a whole other story. Yeah, it's long. Sad. Yeah, I'm not gonna like bother getting into it. But like,
did you know him well?
I did know him pretty well, but then he ended up being like a really terrible person and had some like criminal charges levied against him. Yeah, and that's how ICE caught onto him. So. That's why I don't feel particularly bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But beforehand, I did really like him. But then he just ended up being a bad person. Anyways.
Anyway.
Yes. If it was something chillax, like, hey, let's like get some pizza, crush through some like Super Smash Brothers or Dungeons and Dragons shit, I'd be like, okay, sounds good. Free food, why not?
I've been meeting so many people recently. In like the last
look at you,
months.
Mr. Fucking Social Pants.
I am. I've completely flipped the script in terms of my socialness, and I've been like, I don't go out that often. It's like once every 2 weeks, but when I do, I end up meeting tons of people, and then I go back into my hole for 2 weeks, and my socialness recharges. But like, I've completely done away with the awkwardness that I used to have. When I met a person, like I just go into the mode that I've known them for a while. It's not like I'm gonna touch them like that asshole, but like I'm just gonna talk to them the way I talk to people I've known for a while, and it's always gone amazingly. And I've made people laugh that way. And it's just like treating them like I've known them for a while is way better than just like, "Hey man, how are you doing? I'm Patrick," and it's just this like formal stuff that I just I don't do anymore. It's great.
See, I wish I could flip that switch on, but I can only do that when I'm like a few beers in. Yeah. Like it's amazing how my social inhibitors just disappear when I'm like a few beers deep. It's crazy. Like I become not a necessarily completely different person, but I just feel way more confident. I'm like ready to talk to you about absolutely anything in the world. Prime example of this is this past weekend. One of my best friends was he was being paid to host a party for someone else. This is a common thing, especially in Boston where like space is super limited. The party he was hosting was for the Korean Student Association on campus. So as you can imagine, I don't know anyone from the Korean Student Association. So
because you're a racist.
Yes, I hate Koreans. I'm still not over the Korean War. I'll never forget what they did to my father. But show up. Obviously, this party's going down. And it's a good time, and I'm just hanging out with my friend and his roommates for a while, who I know pretty well. And suffice to say, hour later, I'm like hanging out, best friends with all these members of the Korean Student Association, and it was dope.
Did you talk about Korean gaming at all?
Not even. No, they were all like American Korean, I would say. Like very few of them were like international Korean students.
I thought you meant like Korean nationals.
No. There were a few of those, but I didn't particularly meet any of those, I think.
What is a Hebrew national sausage thing?
Hebrew national
hot dog?
Isn't that a hot dog, yeah.
Why is it called that?
Hebrew national?
Why are we called Prude Dudes?
Is it because it's kosher?
Maybe? I didn't even know this was a thing. I don't even know what you're talking about.
National.
Totally
what do you
distracting
mean? It's like
from
a big
my point.
brand.
Do you mean Oscar Miles? Oscar Miles?
No,
oh wait,
I'm an Oscar Miles.
Hebrew National Hot Dogs. Oh, they are 100% kosher beef. You're 100% right.
Isn't that for Jewish people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not pork. It's a beef hot dog.
I've never understood religions that forbade you from killing one of the animals.
Yeah, I mean, the kosher rules are a lot more complicated than that. It's like you can't eat certain foods together, can't wear certain clothes made of certain fabric mixed together. It's really
like
bizarre.
the conversation we had where like God came down and he gave us all these like really basic don't kill people, don't steal stuff, and don't eat fucking pigs. Don't even touch them. Don't even think about it.
Like the Bo Burnham from the perspective of God. He's like, I created the universe. You think I'm drawing the line at the fucking deli aisle? That was a good one.
I love that. But anyways, that's my point. Let's move on. So this past week, or I guess this week, Far Cry 5 came out. Looks dope. Been reading reviews. Apparently it's very good. I'm super curious, but I'm too poor to buy it right now. So I'm curious to know what you think about it, Pat, since you're the only one that has it, I think.
I have it.
Oh, you have it too, Jan.
I played the introduction. I'm playing the introduction right now. So
as we speak.
I'm not as deep. I'm playing. Yeah, as we're recording this podcast, I brought a TV and my Xbox to the little room I'm in, and I'm playing it right now. But yeah, Patrick's played it more than me.
Patrick's literally playing it right now, I'm pretty sure.
It's really pretty. Everything's really good.
It is extremely
it's very pretty.
I would say it's one of the best looking Ubisoft games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. Yeah, sorry, you go.
No, you go.
I was just gonna say, Yammin, you're playing on the Xbox One X, right? So that must look like especially dope.
I mean, even for me with my
so
stupid
dope.
little idiot screen and my old Xbox One, it still looks really good.
It is. It's 4K optimized and it's got HDR10 and all the good stuff.
Damn. Okay. So
it's like also the animations for the reloading. It just feels so meaty. Like when you reload the assault rifle, it's just like the clip comes out and you take it and you're just like everything feels really nice. And
the textures on like the metals and the
metals on the guns look so good.
And good.
When you shoot someone, it's always been this way with the Far Cry. Everything about the Far Cry character like interaction, like everything, like how you move, how you shoot, everything has always felt really good, and it feels even better here. It's just great stuff. I mean, Far Cry's always been really good with that.
Yeah. Do you still have to climb radio towers all the time to like do shit?
No, they even make a joke about that in the beginning.
Oh, really? Shit.
Yeah,
okay.
You climb one on the first. Well, spoilers, I guess. The first island you liberate, which is in the middle of this lake. The guy sends you up this a radio tower, and he says, "Don't worry, I won't have you climbing radio towers all across the county."
It's a funny game.
It is.
It's not like funny like it's trying too hard. It's just like
funny.
little things here and there make you smile.
Like we were talking about the weapon descriptions, just stuff like that.
Talk to me about who are the enemies in this game? They're like a cult, right? What's their deal?
Yee people.
Yes, it's a religious cult, and they have a leader who they'll pretty much do anything for. And that's pretty much how the game starts off, without really ruining anything. It starts off, you are a sheriff coming to deputy coming to arrest a cult leader.
Friend?
I'm not sure I know his name, but they call him Father.
They call him the Father, yeah.
Yeah, and then things go bad. You don't arrest him. Spoiler alert. And then
it doesn't work out.
It doesn't. Yeah, we'll just say it doesn't work out.
And then they release you into the world of Far Cry again. It's just. Yeah, and also, I don't know why, but for some reason I had started to get really tired of the tropical sort of areas that we were in, like Far Cry 3, Far Cry 4, and I was like, okay, we get tigers and stuff, but now when you're in Montana, it's just like, bison, there you go, cougars, everything's nice.
Yeah.
Is the game, like, political in any sense? Like, do you get any vibes?
You get a lot of,
like,
they're going to come take our guns stuff.
There's a lot of that. There's even a mission that is a reference. You have to.
Don't be specific. I haven't done it yet.
I haven't played it. I've read about it.
Oh.
You have to locate and retrieve some leader's P tape. In reference to nobody or anything specific.
God damn it.
But apparently it's a thing. Yeah. And it's got like the mission itself has like a funny name, and I can't remember it right now, but I read about that. So there are definitely.
There's a lot of meta
of that
stuff. Like, one of the guns is called Amendment 2. It's just like a lot of the stuff is just like, yee, Dipsky and Lipsky, I tell you what. And it's just, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just trying to like, because you're a deputy in the county of Hope, or whatever. So I assume that you're the same flavor of yee that these people are. So
just not to the same degree.
Not the same. You're a liberal yee.
You're not like an apocalyptic cult yee, you know? Like you're just a normal person. You're a normal, you're just warm-blooded American. Yeah. You're like law enforcement American patriotic. Like
you're like Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, you love Reagan, and you also love God and religion and guns.
Did you see that speech he made about guns that made all of the liberals so happy when they
Ronald Reagan?
He was talking. I don't remember he was at a rally of some kind, and he was talking about guns, and the whole reason it was shared so much is because right-wing people like to tout him as, he's the father of modern conservatism, and it was all this like they just jerk him off all the time. Yeah. And all the Second Amendment people too. And his speech was just like, I am all for the Second Amendment, but you do not need an AK-47 to defend your home. And everybody cheered, and I was just like, what the fuck am I watching? Is this Ronald Reagan? This is not the Ronald Reagan that I've been taught exists by every conservative on the planet.
Dude, I fucking know. It's funny, not to get political here, but I'm definitely going to get political here. There's a lot of the Republican Party that even like Reagan revolutionized has really taken a dive. Like they still jerk off Reagan, but a lot of the principles of conservative ideology that were reasonable and like made them more respectable group have been tossed to the wayside. For example, the idea for Obamacare that Republicans hate so much, it actually came from Mitt Romney. It was called Romney Care while he was governor of Massachusetts. He implemented it, and we still use it here today, and it's been very successful. So it's funny. That was a point of contention when he ran against Obama. And another thing is that when John McCain ran against Obama in 2008, he had all sorts of policy positions and even ran ads saying, we're going to do something about climate change and global warming, and we're going to stop it. And, we're going to do it more efficiently than like the libs. And now Republicans, thanks to the funding of certain donors, deny that it even exists. So, yeah, it just goes to show you how much can change in an incredibly short amount of time. Like, literally about 10 years, they went from being like, yeah, like this certain healthcare system and also climate change is real to like, climate change isn't fucking real, and Romney Care, Obamacare, socialism, god damn it.
Yeah, also like Far Cry 5 is never going to get that specific, I don't think. It's just like,
but like Patrick, I want to know what Far Cry 5 has to say about healthcare. Like, what does it propose?
I assume that there's another. I mean, like, I was expecting there to be like 87 characters, like crazy characters, like there were in Far Cry 4, which was just like, I'm crazy and that's my whole character. Like
I'm sure you'll meet a few of those.
I don't know. Like there was Vaz.
He's still the fucking
3.
best, dude.
He's the best, and then they killed him, and then you had to fight some other prick, and then
spoiler alert.
Doesn't he die at the very end?
He dies in the middle.
Spoiler alert. He dies towards the end. There's
3/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
I totally forget who you even fight after him. That's how much.
This drug lord, and then a couple other people.
Don't you is that the game where you end up fucking that girl? And
there's 3 endings depending on who you save.
Right.
You can save your girlfriend. You can either slit your girlfriend's throat or leave with your girlfriend. It's one of those games where it's just like, when you choose the dark path, you choose an evil, sadistic, crazy, fucking idiot path. When
Doesn't
you choose the good path,
you?
Yeah. If you choose the new hot crazy girl, who's like this island's warlord queen or whatever, you bang in this weird ritual, and then she stabs you in the chest.
You do
get to see titties.
But she
stabs you in the chest.
Every gamer was like playing through the game, and then they get to the decision point, and they pause, and they're like, "I wonder what I get."
Google. Absolutely. Google.
Yeah. I was like,
I get to fuck.
I do that. I do that for like. I know the point of those games in decision making is to be like, you deal with the consequences of your actions, but I'm like, I think I'd like to deal with controlled consequences and see which one I would actually rather go with. I always Google that shit.
I've ranted about this before, but it's just like, that's not a decision. People don't make decisions that's like in the Force Unleashed as well. If you make the dark side path, you get stabbed in the back. If you choose the bad side in Far Cry 3, you get stabbed. The same with the other Force Unleashed. It's just like all the this is 3 examples, but like I know I've seen this in other games where it's just like if you choose the bad guy in air quotes path, then you get stabbed or you get thrown off a cliff. Like if you decide to be like self-interested, then that's always going to result in your self-destruction, which is never the case in real life. It's very rarely the case. I mean, it's like, can't there be some gray area with it? It's like you choose the dark path and then you kind of have to live with those decisions you made. Like, that's it.
I don't want any kind of gray area. I want an illusion of choice. I want them to be like, do you want A or B? And no matter what, you end up with the same result. That's what I like, because then I know I didn't miss any content. I didn't make the wrong choice.
Exactly.
So to speak. I didn't get the bad ending. You know, it's just, I would like there to be like...
Which cutscene do you want of the 67 that you can possibly get with all the decisions you made in game?
I would like it to feel like my choice is important, even though it isn't. Because then I can be like, wow, okay, I really have to think about this. And then I make that choice and I realize, oh, okay, so there was no bad choice. I'm glad. I didn't miss out on anything. I don't have to go watch the other 7 endings.
Gameplay should still inform the story, though. If you choose to blow up the church or, you know, blow up the thing in Far Cry 4, or like blow up the church or blow up the opium fields, then you're just, there's nothing that happens. You still, either at the end of the game, you either get shitty leader, or crazy leader, and you can kill all 3 if you want. Then you're left with nothing. It's just the dumbest choices. They don't make any sense.
That one was not, Far Cry 4's endings were not great.
Yeah. Far Cry 3 was also really bad.
I like the sentiment that power corrupts no matter what, but like...
There have been good leaders, though.
Yeah, but yeah.
Everybody's evil. Fuck you. That's the entire ending.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a spoiler if you are still planning on playing Far Cry 4 for whatever reason. But like, the whole game you're trying to stop the leader, and you have these 2 people that you're fighting for that are helping you, and then in the end you have to pick one of the 2 people you've been fighting with to take the position of power when you kill the bad guy.
One is progressive,
and no matter who you pick, they end up being horrible people and like ripping families apart and like selling drugs to kids and just like horrible. So it's like, man, was the person that I've been fighting this whole time any worse than the people I just put into power? And it's like, I guess it gets you thinking, but like that's not an ending that there's no good ending. It's like games that have a good and a bad, and then you pick the bad ending and you're like, fuck, I picked the bad ending. But this is a game with like 3 bad endings and no good. It's like,
it should still benefit you either way. I know that you said that you don't want it to have any effect on anything. You just like, oh, you picked this, and then that's like the accessory of the thing. It's like now you'll see the red soldiers in all the bases instead of the blue because you picked red. I get that. But I still think that if you pick good, then you should get something that maybe is kind of hard to swallow, but is still at the end of the day good. But if you pick the bad, it's just totally self-interested. It's like all the good stuff that you would get, and you killed the guy who was like helping the whole time because you want his stuff too. Like that kind of stuff is what you get if you're an evil bastard. And that's all I play in these games, in Skyrim and Fallout and all these games where you have the choice. I play a monster, and I don't get anything from it. I always get the terrible ending.
No, see, I would actually argue that in Fallout, especially Fallout New Vegas, your choices actually do matter. And that's what I really loved about that game, is that I could choose to, even though it wasn't as flexible as I wanted, I could choose to kind of be like...
New Vegas was completely different. Fallout 4 is the one I'm talking about. With
Fallout 4 is some ass, but that's a whole different conversation.
New Vegas is amazing.
I just love that New Vegas was like, okay, you don't need to necessarily align yourself with one faction or another, but you can definitely have your, like, you know, favorites and least favorites and stuff. So I was kind of like, I like the NCR, but I'm not going to team up with them because they're a little like authoritarian for my liking.
They are.
But fuck Caesar's Legion. Those guys are absolute monsters. So when I got the chance to nuke Caesar's Legion or nuke the NCR or disarm the nuke, I was like, I'm nuking Caesar's Legion right now. Press the button. I couldn't press the button fast enough. They're like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, do it right now. Do it.
Would you like to kill these people who are kind of mean?
Did I stutter?
Or the people who rape and kill everyone all the time? It's like, let me
really
think.
difficult
I mean, there's 2 sides to every story.
There is 2 sides. Let's hear them out. Right?
Intolerant libs at it again, want to nuke our way of life.
I every time I play that game through, I like. Oh, and with Fallout 4, there's the Brotherhood, which is a bunch of racist, horrible, awful people, but they look really cool, and that's it. That's the
incentive. That's it.
It's like that's it.
The
that's
whole
it.
Thing.
And with the Institute, it's a bunch of weird maniacal monsters who don't look good at all. It's just like I don't care.
Like,
and
everyone's
then,
shitty. Like, the only, like,
the
real...
fucking railroad's ugly, and then the fucking men are ugly.
I mean, the railroad is, I think, the most, like, moral choice, but they're fucking lame.
Reasonable, yeah.
They're, like, fucking lame.
So lame.
You don't get much from them. And then the Minutemen is kind of, like, the safest choice, of them all. But it's the most boring.
Because you already hate them because of Preston. It's the most annoying character in the world.
Another encampment needs our help.
I will join you if I get to blow Preston's head off.
I installed so many mods throughout this game, and none of them I could find that would just let me kill one character, and it was fucking Preston.
But yeah, Fallout is a better example of choice, I think, that matters in those games. I think the Telltale Games are also a good example of that, at least the earlier ones. I haven't played any of the new Telltale Batman games, for example, but the first season of The Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us, those are fucking awesome, and you could definitely tell. Like, I would even go online to, like, see, you know, what the other paths were. Like, Walking Dead Season 1 especially, you can end up with a completely different set of characters at the end of the game.
So many
and I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
Yesterday.
The first season of The Walking Dead?
I hate those games.
You hate it? Why do you hate it?
I watched, the first season of The Walking Dead. Wait.
The game.
So Lee dies at the end of the first season, right?
Correct.
Okay, so that one I watched all the way through. I watched a person play that. That was great. That was really compelling.
A good
super
one.
sad at the end. Everything about it, awesome. No matter what choice you picked, even if you were a selfish cunt, I still cared about the character at the end. Like, yeah, so that was great. And then it got progressively more boring.
Yeah.
Like in
all the Telltale games. Game of Thrones, Batman, all of them.
Game of Thrones was bad, even though I played it all the way through. I kind of liked it. I liked it more than most people, but it ended up not mattering at all. Like, the whole, like, secret place beyond the fucking wall or whatever.
Here's a place where none of it will matter if anything really happens.
Yeah, and I'm just
we
like,
don't want to affect the real plot.
By the end of it, and especially now, I'm like, none of this is canon, and none of this will have any impact on anything else in this show or universe whatsoever.
What was that place called?
I don't even remember. That's how insignificant it was.
Hidden place that no one can find.
I think it was like White Forest or something. White something.
They were White Walkers. Right? Weren't they?
You got it, Yammin.
I mean, that was the point, is that there were White Walkers they had to deal with, and this place...
I don't actually know. I thought I was just helping.
We were aware that you don't know.
Fuck you.
This place was, like, magically defended against White Walkers. I don't remember. I also don't give enough of a shit, so yeah.
Telltale Games do that a lot, where, like, I think of The Wolf Among Us was one of the only ones where I either watched or played.
I tapped out of that.
I can't remember.
I tapped out.
Patrick, that seems like right up your alley.
Why?
All 5 episodes I watched or played, I can't remember.
And, like, the character of, like, being this, like, cool detective guy who doesn't give a shit about anything, and, like, I don't know.
He gives a shit about what you decide he gives a shit about.
That was my favorite one out of the 3 that we've mentioned so far. But anyways, the point being, the first episode is, like, usually, like, pretty good, and then, like, 2, 3, and 4 are, like, crap, and then 5 is like, wow, that was incredible. But, like, it's like, is it worth 2, 3, and 4?
Trudging
like, putting in the time,
shit.
all the boring, the dialogue, the story,
God.
and then 5 rolls around and everyone starts dying.
She got beheaded, except she didn't.
All the secrets are unveiled, and it's like...
That's fair. No, I agree with that. It's funny. The other thing I hate about the Telltale games is that they're very buggy, and they also still look like shit. Like,
what was the one that was the worst one ever?
I think
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. Life is Strange.
Oh, that's not a Telltale game. That's a different studio.
It might as well be, honestly.
But a lot of people love that game, actually.
I don't care. They're all bad. They're so bad.
Was a joke.
They're so fucking bad.
Game was a joke.
I've never tried it. I know it's supposed to be like...
If you don't know who he is, he's a great streamer who you should watch and play that game.
If you want to watch somebody play the game, Ray is the one to go to.
If you don't like it, that's for sure. Because he makes fun of it.
I know it's like, cringy teenage stuff, but I don't know.
No teenager acts like that. None of them do. These are just weird archetypes that they selected out of movies and like TV, and then they just like, this is how all the emo kids act, and this is how popular kids act. All popular kids are cunts, and that's it.
And the switch ups in the mood, like literally within like 10 seconds, you'll go from like, I don't know, talking a girl off the roof and she's gonna jump off and kill herself, and like
awesome
10
sauce.
seconds later, you're talking about awesome sauce and like cute boys and like, and it's like, did you not just stop that person from killing themselves? Are you really talking about pizza right now?
God, one of my favorite like switch ups is when they're in the room and what's her name, blue hair chick. Lily,
don't know the names.
Lily or something.
I know who
like
you're
that.
talking about.
I'm just gonna call her Lily. Lily is smoking a joint, and then she's like, "This is my jam. Turn that shit up." And then she gets on the bed and starts like dancing. It's like, this is so stupid. And then her dad comes in and starts beating the shit out of her.
Oh my god, that's right. That's right.
Wait,
and then she gets a gun out of his gun. He has like an array of like identical guns. And she's like, "I'm gonna take one of these." So bad.
Anyways.
And then the girl, your main character, is this Polaroid taking, journal bag wearing, pin wearing. Like, she is the most boring
probably
character
vegan,
in the world. Probably like she's like Tumblr incarnate. Like the Tumblr that people think exists that doesn't really exist as much as people think.
Jesus.
Anyways, yeah, I think it's enough of that.
Stupid game.
That's funny as fuck. I need to look up that scene. Exactly.
I'm not saying domestic abuse is hilarious. It's just, it was really weird because they were just like, wee! And then they, get you.
Stop.
You're in here playing that music that makes me upset because I'm a country boy. I'm mad at you.
Another scene, if you're going to look up, like, scenes that you have to see, look up Beans or like My Beans or something like that.
Specifically Ray's playthrough where he talks about the beans.
The
beans, no.
It's literally like Ray's really good at like a moment that's supposed to be serious. Like he recognizes how freaking stupid it is, and he'll laugh at something that's like supposed to be like a serious
really
moment.
Fucking contagious. It's just like this repetitive like.
She like knocks over this dude's plate of beans.
With her time travel.
It's like this intense moment where like she knocked over that guy that like he's like a scary dude that's like threatened to kill her or something, and it's like she knocked over his beans. It's like all intense, but Ray's like, the fucking beans, and then he like breaks out laughing.
Oh, it's so fucking funny. That game is so goddamn stupid.
Anyways, what else can we talk about? Can we not just rant about this?
Yeah. Yammin, so you were bragging about your mobile your PUBG iPhone victory earlier today. You got 10 kills.
You can't let me have anything.
How does that game handle on the phone?
Pretty good. Surprisingly good.
What kind of phone do you have?
6S.
Same.
I mean, it runs well considering it's on a phone, but I still hate the feeling of playing a shooter. Yeah, and I still hate the feeling of a shooter on a fucking phone. It just feels
it's not the best.
Feels fucking rough.
It's this very weird, since you can't use your index or thumb to pull triggers to shoot, you have to use one of your thumbs, and they give you two options, like one on the right and one on the left. So you either have to aim with your right thumb and then shoot with the left. So you're going to be standing still, but you can aim, or you're going to be moving, like physically walking, but you can't change where you're aiming with your right thumb. You have to shoot with your right thumb. So you kind of have to make a decision of how you're going to do it.
Yeah, you can't strafe and shoot. You have to kind of like
cannot strafe and shoot. And I didn't realize
like a chess piece.
I didn't realize how big of a thing that was until I played it on mobile, and there's no triggers, so gotta use one of them thumbs.
Yeah, but hey, you won. You got 10 kills.
Fuck you.
Most of those were probably bots, because if you don't know,
fuck you.
Wow, that's a hilarious joke that's been brought up 6 times.
This is at least the second time, but
it's definitely not 6 times.
Yeah, learn how to fucking count, Patrick. Jesus Christ.
Do you guys like The Office?
That's like, I like The Office, but it's become the most basic.
I fucking hate that show a lot.
Do you hate it because other people have kind of ruined it?
It's part of that, and also the humor is really fucking boring after the first 2 episodes.
Well, I think the entire first season is really bad, actually.
The entire series is the most repetitive shit ever. It's just someone does something cringy, and then the person looks at camera and is just like, wow, I don't know about that. It's like, what the fuck? Just do anything else, please. This is the most annoying, boring thing ever.
No, I'll say that I do like The Office and do think it's really funny, and I did enjoy it a lot. But now that it's become this incredibly basic show, basic. And I hate saying that word.
No, it makes sense.
But it's really fucking basic because everyone and their fucking mom watches The Office, especially on Twitter. Like, oh, remember this scene from The Office? Or they'll put it in their fucking bio, and I'm like,
wow,
somewhere probably watching The Office.
The resuscitation mask thing. Ha 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 ha.
I'm like, congratulations, you're just exactly like every other millions of people out there who watch this fucking show. It does not make you unique or original in any way.
I like The Office, and I'm an Aquarius. That's all you need to know about me. That's everything that you will ever need to know. I am...
Did you just go brain dead?
That's pretty much it. That's just my thought process when looking at these stupid fucking bios that people have.
Yeah, but no, I enjoy
Just
The
a quote
Office.
Michael Scott quotes. Oh my fucking god.
That random shit where they're
actually.
Yeah, sorry,
Sorry,
Yammin.
go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, I'm gonna kind of change the subject. So go ahead.
I was just gonna say, there's always that stupid ass shit where they quote a random ass quote that doesn't make any sense, and they're like, "Haha, by Michael Scott." Got him. Yeah, continue on.
I was gonna bring up a song called Netflix Trip. It's a really, really cool song because like this dude breaks up his life into seasons of The Office. He's like, I had my first crush in season 2, and this, and that, and she moved away in season 3, and just like a really, really cool concept.
Wait, who's the song by?
ARJ. Fuck, I'm not gonna.
How did you find out about them? I've never heard about this person.
They're incredible. They're the first group in a while where I've liked every single song on their most recent album, like everyone.
Huh.
Is it AJR? Please. Yes, it is. It's AJR. Really talented. 3 of them. I believe they're brothers. And they're all, I read something about all of them, like, they can all write, sing, and play instruments. So it, like, really works out really well.
Sounds like me and my brothers.
You guys should start a rap group. Have you ever
It's
thought
called
about
No
that?
Talent. What's that new song on the radio that's, like, really, it's these girls singing it, and it's, like, really bassy? It's, like, something about your mom raised you or something like that?
I don't listen to the radio because I'm not a fucking
Yeah, I
pleb.
haven't listened to the radio in forever.
Even though I work for public radio, I don't listen to the radio. I actually don't even know what the fuck is popular. I mean, I eventually I catch up with what is popular just because it ends up being on Spotify or
it shows
something.
up one place or another.
Like that's mostly how I keep track of what's popular is like Spotify top 50 shit. But even then, I'll look at it sometimes and not even recognize any of the songs. Like,
God, that's bad.
I've never heard the number 2 song right now, which is Sad by XXXTentacion. Never heard that song.
I'm just not gonna say anything because
isn't XXXTentacion a bad person?
He's a horrible person, but like, man, this new album cranks. He's horrible. Don't listen to it and don't support him.
Didn't he like beat his girlfriend?
It fucking cranks.
No,
he
wait.
Did horrible
Are you
things.
talking about the dude
he
who
did
diddled
horrible
kids?
things.
That's
No.
6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
6ix9ine.
That's another dude. He can't make music.
He can't do math.
That guy looks like he tried to jump into the vat of chemicals that made Harley Quinn crazy, but he hit like a metal beam on the way down and then fell into
He hit every metal beam that has
crayons.
ever existed on his way
He got a
down.
concussion.
God,
He got a Caucasian.
one of his songs came up on my Spotify radio, and I was so offended because I was like, Jesus Christ, this is that kid who can't do math. Like,
oh God, did you see his interview on with Charlemagne?
I was literally bringing it
It
up.
was so
I didn't
good,
see it.
and people say, "Oh, he shut Charlemagne down." It's like these are the 2
Are you
biggest
kidding me?
idiots in the world clashing.
No, but like he was like, I've never heard of you. If it weren't for the show, I wouldn't have heard it. He said that 6ix9ine said that to Charlemagne.
This is about to be your
and
most
Charlemagne
popular
was literally
show.
like, he's like, I've got a best-selling book. I've produced movies. I've done this. I've been on this. I've been on that. I did this. I did that. And then 6ix9ine was just kind of quiet.
And he was just like, and I've got all that, and I can't talk really. I'm kind of dyslexic. Like his whole thing is, I don't know what his whole thing is actually. I guess he's just supposed to be random or something.
6ix9ine or Charlemagne?
6ix9ine.
6ix9ine.
Yeah,
Charlemagne's just like the offensive guy.
There's so many videos of fights where he's not fighting. Like his 6 guards fight, and he just kind of like talks shit.
His 6
from,
9 foot
like,
guards. There's 9 6-foot guards.
God, 6ix9ine is just like the ugliest looking motherfucker I've
He's
ever.
He
Really,
looks like
right?
like a calligraphy T-shirt from 2007 for a band. Like had sex with a bowl of melted crayons.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't.
That's funny. That's how he sounds too.
Kind of, yeah. I haven't actually listened to his music because I just looked at him and like I listened
You're
to
lucky.
him talk.
You're one of the lucky ones.
And then I heard he was a pedophile, and then I was just like, I think that's like the trifecta. I'm good.
It looks like he has Skittles for teeth.
He's gross, yeah.
Like, I just want to like cut his hair, give him a shower, and just fucking
Get those tattoos
Get those
removed.
tattoos. Never tattoo your face, especially not with 69. You goddamn idiot. Jesus Christ. Who's the other one that kind of like looks like 6ix9ine? It's like Lil something.
Lil.
Wait, I think it's dead. Lil Peep.
I think it's Lil Peep.
No, it's not. I think you think about.
No, I'm thinking about Lil Peep.
I played D&D the other day, and I named my character Lil Peep.
Oh wait, he did die, right? Yeah, he died from. Oh yeah, he died from the fentanyl Xanax overdose. Damn. Yeah.
You didn't know? Is this new news?
No, it's not news to me, but I was just remembering that this is that guy. Like, I didn't remember who.
Didn't they just bring up that Prince died of with a lot of fentanyl in his system?
Yeah.
And like a grain of fentanyl can kill a human being.
Yeah. Fentanyl is fucking scary shit, man. Like, that's part of the reason the opioid crisis is so big right now, is that heroin and stuff is getting laced with fentanyl.
When you see how
kill you.
How like a grain can kill you, I've thought about this for a while, because we had to do, like, when we were lifeguards, like, some of the book had like lists of like dangerous chemicals and stuff, and one of them was fentanyl. I was like, this much can kill you, and I was looking at it, it's like, this is like a little grain, like a grain of sugar, and it's like, this is how much can kill you. How do people ingest this without dying? What's the way to take this to get a high without dying?
You take 8 other drugs.
You take a little scalpel and you like nano razor, and you're just like, yeah, and you just get a little sliver of a grain, and then you put that in a mixture and you eat it. Or something.
It's fucking crazy. There was this crazy story I heard that this cop pulled over this notorious drug dealer in their area or whatever, and like busted them. And this is before like fentanyl was like widespread. And he saw all these like white packets and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, he has like a fuck ton of cocaine." So he like cuts into it to like, or no, he doesn't even cut into it. He just like picks it up, and like moves it to, like, you know, for evidence and shit, to like his vehicle or whatever.
Did he
while
die?
Other people come. Yeah, and 20 minutes later, just from like the debris or whatever he has on his hands and on his shirt, he knocks the fuck out. And they have to take him to the hospital.
Have you ever seen those videos of like before?
Did he die?
No, he survived. But like even just like the little bit he had on him,
the residue from the bag, like, from when it was put in there,
it nearly killed him. Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Have you seen the videos of like raids police do, like SWAT vehicles like opening up, and then you see cops get out with their t-shirts and they put on these like black gloves? I wonder if that's for that, or if it's for like not to leave fingerprints or something. It's not like a latex glove. It's like these like tactical gloves. I don't know why they wear those.
It might be for fingerprints.
I think it's just a tactical thing. Like, don't military service people wear gloves out in the field?
They also have those like the plastic. I'm highlighting my knuckles. Like, they have this plastic thing on the back of the glove that has a bump for each of the knuckles, and it's like this plastic knuckle thing. I don't know how any of that works. Are you gonna go like bare knuckle
I know
boxing?
What you're saying. Yeah. I think, well, when you're fucking war fighting, like, get every possible advantage you can get. Like, if you make your knuckles slightly more, like, weaponized, then that could help in any situation. Like,
speaking of just guns and police and stuff, did you see that the school that got shut up in Florida has required students to wear see-through backpacks, clear backpacks?
Yeah, that's just fucking crazy.
It's weird, right? They will do anything but get rid of guns.
Yeah. I mean,
everyone has to come in naked. You can't have any concealing clothing.
Florida, to their credit, actually did pass a law regulating passing some gun control.
And we just passed bump stock regulations, right?
I think. I don't remember.
I saw that it was passed in the Senate, I think.
I know, yeah, it was like close to or something. But in Florida, they raised the age to 21, along with some other stuff. I don't remember the details, but at least they like did something. Which is surprising. So, you know, good for them, at least for taking a step. But the clear backpacks thing is pretty ridiculous, I would say. And you're essentially punishing the victims of a crime, basically. It's really, really sad. And actually, I'm not sure. Did you guys ever have that weird few people in high school who wore a clear backpack as a sort of like fashion statement? Like, it was almost like the cool thing to have a clear backpack just for like shits and giggles. There were some like weird people in my high school who would have clear backpacks. It was mostly the artsy kids, I think, and all of their fucking like crayons and pastels and shit would like
our school
be
had
all
a lot
over
of
their
those,
fucking bag.
like weebs who would wear BMO backpacks from Adventure Time.
Oh my god, people still
and
do that.
Pikachu and just everything.
And they would fucking walk in with like a anime cat hat or something that made them look like a creature.
And the people who they do Eskimo kisses like with their
oh yeah.
Yammin, do you remember the person who got married, like proposed in high school?
Yes, I do.
The cringiest shit in the world.
Dude, that's the shit that fucks me up is people that get married like in high school or right after high school. Like, even I'm seeing people even in college
people
now.
That have kids, dude.
Oh,
the
that's
people
even
that
worse.
have kids.
The people that get people
Dude, that's
accidentally.
confidence. That's real confidence to know that the person you met after 17 years is the one that's the best for you. You have really low standards.
I know a girl at another Catholic high school who.
You told us about this.
Yeah, she was a teen mom. She gave birth her like sophomore year and shit. And then I just found out about another kid kind of recently who got his girlfriend pregnant around his like senior year or something. And the way I found out is like this past Christmas, they had like a Christmas photo together and they posed together and she was visibly pregnant. And I was like, what the fuck? Then this kid is like 2 grades below me. And I'm like, that's fucked up. Like, that's so bizarre to think about that this kid who I always perceived as being, you know, younger than me, and then like, you know,
you're still calling them kid. That's
I'm still
that's
calling
how you can
him
tell.
a kid, and he's like,
this kid's having a kid.
like he's posing with his girlfriend who will be his baby mama and potentially wife. They'll probably get married too early and shit. God, that's so fucking weird to think about. And yeah. Sorry, keep going. I was done.
No, I don't have anything real to say. I was just gonna add on to how weird it is.
No, it's fucking weird. And I know people that are graduating college right now. There's one couple that is already getting married, and that is having like a wedding. That's so weird.
Okay, but maybe they're happy, and that's all.
I mean, yeah, it's way more acceptable than obviously the other situation. They're not even pregnant, so that's good.
Yeah, but then maybe they're happy. I don't know what to tell you.
No, they're happy. Like, good for them. It's still like a little surreal, is all I'm saying. I'm not giving them shit for it.
How often people give up? I would immediately want to give up if I got pregnant. I'm not saying that I could. I'm not saying that, but like,
you could get pregnant.
If I was a woman and I got pregnant in high school, I would very quickly get rid of it. I would not want to deal with it.
That's the problem with growing up in a Catholic school environment, is that everyone who gets pregnant has to deal with it because abortion is like our cardinal sin.
Why can't you just get an abortion and then just say, oops, something happened?
That's the thing. We had a whole policy section in our student handbook in high school saying if you get an abortion, you have to go through counseling and be reviewed by like the principal and shit, and they could still decide to expel you from the school if they wanted to.
I'm not going to say the name of the high school, but you went to Chess Piece, UK sounding name, right?
No. What? I went to the one in Alexandria.
Bishop Ireton?
Yes.
That's Chess Piece, UK sounding name.
How is that a chess piece sounding name? Bishop is a title and Ireton is a name.
Bishop is a chess piece.
Oh, chess.
All, but like,
I thought you said chest as in like the body part. I was thinking like chest piece, like, I don't know, something you pin when
It's 59 minutes if you want to know what the time point is for you to get rid of that, so you don't.
No, I don't actually care. I don't go there anymore, so it really doesn't
cool.
matter to me. If you want to go like leave some Prude Dudes graffiti on my former high school, feel free. They'll have no idea what it means.
Don't
encourage it either, else it'll be criminal.
I do not encourage this or condone that activity at all. If you do it, good job.
If you do, police.
That sounded kind of encouraging.
Don't do it. All right, so since we're in deep, let's shift gears here to some fan stuff, as we do. This email is from Megan. She says, thanks for reading my email on the last episode, guys, and I agree with Pat. The Ghost in the Shell movie was unnecessary and dumb. Just leave well enough alone. And I'm pretty sure at this point, Yammin is either a mythical creature of yore or a figment of our imagination that we've put into our heads just for shits and giggles. Is he even real? I really don't know. Yammin, you want to answer for the people?
I mean, are any of us real?
Yes.
Thanks, Jaden Smith. Real shit.
I am.
There.
No one else.
Just Patrick. Patrick, this is just a performance art for you where you bounce back and forth between 3 different voices to put on a fake podcast. And it's worked so far for 36.
It's pretty convincing.
How am I able to interrupt myself?
Well, through the magic of editing, that's how.
You're that talented.
Yeah. This is a YouTube comment we got on the video. Wow, I never thought I'd hear about ace representation, which is asexual representation, on this podcast, and I'm really happy you guys talked about that because
we brought this up, didn't we?
No.
Why?
No,
yeah. Why does that sound really far fetched?
No. I'm talking about you read this on the last one, right?
No, we talked about asexual.
No, you read this on the last one.
That's physically impossible because I'm reading it off of the most recent podcast video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just know that there was another email that said, "Hey, thank you for the ace representation."
Well, that was in response as well, but I don't know. I don't remember that one. I'm really happy you guys talked about that because this is something I deal with alone. Shout out to the person who left that comment for the podcast. This made my day. Thank you for that, Nadia. Patrick, why don't you go over the amazing fan art we got?
Oh, yeah. Venomu on Instagram sent us 3 pieces of art. She drew me as a freckle, and then she drew the Prude Dudes kid, and then she drew the thing that I talked about with Alex on the last one, or the one before that, about Venom and where his head goes during the process of, like, him opening his mouth. And it shows me on the left saying, "Hush now, Dr. Alex, is there a Tom Hardy or not?" And then Venom's licking your nipple, and then you say, "I don't think that there's an actual person inside that." And it's drawn, all of it is drawn really, really well. And the caption said, "It's evening. You go to YouTube and start hearing the opening of the Peer Gynt suite." I think that's the music that you use, right?
What? Wait, repeat that again.
The Peer Gynt suite. I think that's the piece of orchestra that you use at the beginning.
Yes. Okay.
And you'll know that you started listening to the beloved Prude Dudes. So have some art. Prude Dudes, y'all are cool as hell and nice to listen to. Have some fan art of Patrick, Millie, and Charlton, as well as the themed comic with Pat, Alex, and Venom from last week. You guys rock. Love you. Amazing shit.
The art style for that comic reminds me of the video game Braid. If you've ever played that or heard of it.
Nope.
It was like one of the very first Xbox 360 like arcade games, and it's pretty famous for being like a really cool puzzle game. But that's kind of what that reminds me of. So shout outs if you're a fan of that and you were aiming for that art style. Looks dope. Thank you for that.
I'm sure she or he was aiming for the art style of the 360 game Braid. Absolutely.
Hey, it's very popular. You know,
damn.
Know
yeah,
don't need your fucking sass, you PUBG bot killing motherfucker.
Fuck you. If that was your inspiration, this obscure game that no one's ever heard about, good job. You did well.
Don't shit on
Continue.
them.
You guys need to be vored. Is what you need. You need a little vor in your life.
You're right. I need someone to fucking swallow me and spit me back out. This is emails from Anna. Hey, Prude Dudes. I really enjoy your podcast. 2 workish related questions. I'm a lifeguard on my campus, and I work 3.5-hour shifts. The longest I've gone is 5.5 hours. How the fuck did y'all manage full-day shifts? Do you have any advice for not getting mentally drained / passing time? And I'm doing a runway show, not professional, some hipster student eco-fashion thing, and it's in like 2 months, and I'm already nervous. At Patrick, how do you find confidence when you're modeling? And Yammin and Alex, how do you more generally find confidence in stressful moments?
So the lifeguarding one first.
Thank you, Anna. Yeah, let's do the lifeguarding one. To be honest, in retrospect, I don't know how the fuck I did those like 12-hour shifts.
It's brutal.
It is brutal. It never got easy, really. You just had to kind of come prepared, hope you were working with good people.
Did they say they were on campus? So I assume they're indoors.
They were on campus, yeah.
So indoors probably, right?
Yeah.
We had outdoors, and the sun is draining, even if you like the sun, and I love the sun. But being under it for 13 hours a day is brutal. And I don't know. I mean, assume it's just as bad if you're indoors. It's because you're literally standing up and sitting down and looking at a pool and forced to appear alert. Because if you look like you're falling asleep, then they're going to kick you out.
Yeah.
But it's a pain in the ass.
I think campus pools are probably a lot stricter about actually watching the pool, and you can't have other lifeguards come and talk to you because sometimes there even isn't another lifeguard on staff with you, I think. I don't know how that works usually, but when we were working at the pool outdoors, there would at least typically be like 3 other people working with you besides just yourself. So, you know, you kind of felt like you weren't alone in this at least, and that definitely helped. And, you know, if the pool was empty enough, you could fuck around for a while. eat some food, play some games. If it started raining, God bless. That meant the pool would get emptied, and if there was a thunderstorm, even better. You could go home or just.
Why do we have to leave if there's thunder?
God, I can't tell you how many fucking
that
times.
complaint because then I have to explain what happens when a bolt of lightning is created. It's 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. I love that quote. That was like my entire summer, just saying that over and over again. You will die if you get hit by lightning.
We've had people dead ass wait in the parking lot for the storm to clear, and they would keep calling inside the office and be like, "So when are you guys opening again?" I was like.
So what is usually the policy on that?
It's 45 minutes after the last striking of lightning or thunder, whatever.
Okay, so you guys just sit there and wait, and it's like if like 20 minutes go by.
If you see lightning, you wait an hour,
strike.
45 minutes for thunder, and then if you see it again, you add an hour or 45 minutes.
Yeah, or like you
time.
reset the clock basically.
Okay.
You don't keep adding because then we would never open again, which would be dope. But yeah, you basically have to wait it out, and some people were fucking committed to that shit, dude. Like, it would be the same people coming back after we closed. And I'm just like, if you're home already.
Do you remember the bunny guy?
Oh, my God. The fucking weird guy that would come at 8:45 every day with his fucking wife. He got banned from the pool.
He was abusive and screamed at people.
Yeah, he dead ass,
he goes to the pool where I work out.
Really?
Yeah, and he screams at people there, too.
Do you still see him? Shit.
I do laps from there in the pool sometimes, and fucker is still there, and he screams at people, even though like they'll put out signs for like this lane is reserved for whatever high school swim team, and then he'll get nah, and he'll scream at people. I think the thing is that the woman that he came with, which he referred to as Bunny, every day or night because he came in fucking 8:45 every day, is his handler.
What time does the pool close? Sorry.
Wait, it's his handler? I always thought it was like his wife or something.
I think it was his handler. I think he's on the spectrum of something, and that was the person who was designated to take care of him.
What the
no
fuck
one
do
is
you do
married
at
to
a pool
that person.
For 15 minutes.
They do laps until closing until we have to kick them out, and then they get mad about it.
I remember this time every day.
Right. Yeah, that guy was the fucking worst. I remember when I think you were there, Pat. It was me, you, and Chris, probably.
Oh, Chris.
And we hid in the pump room, opened the door, and like held the megaphone up to this gigantic sheet of metal, and we like hit it really hard to make it sound like, oh no. It was the siren effect on the megaphone that was incredibly loud. And we turned it on for like a split second, and he jumped out of the pool, and he was like, ah! What was that? And we were like, what was what?
He was a psycho.
Yeah, he definitely had some issues.
Back to this idea
really
of
rude.
The 13-hour day things. Just learn to...
Oh, yeah, to answer the question that you asked 10 minutes ago.
Learn the like, just cut out like pieces of hours and pieces of minutes and pieces of 15 minutes. Like, just like, because you're going to do rotations and stuff. Just, okay, I have 9 rotations left until I'm half done with the day. Stuff like that absolutely got me through the day.
I do that with classes all the time. Like, there's an hour left.
There's 30 minutes.
That's like
half an hour.
That's 30 minutes. I can do 2 15 minutes to get to that 30 minutes, and then I'm halfway done with the class.
It's so useful because you're like,
it works.
It's little goals.
Because you're like, dude, I can sit here for 15 minutes. That's not 15 minutes is nothing. And then you do that 4 or 6 times, 8 times a class, and then it's like, man, that class went by.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you do it.
It's not an hour. It's 4 sets of 15.
That's exactly how I used to think about it. That's why, like, the half an hour sit felt like it was forever. But if you got lucky enough to get the 15-minute sit,
when you start
lifeguarding, it was like, it felt like nothing. It was so fucking fast.
And her other question was about stress. Or no, modeling.
Or confidence. Yes, she's doing a runway show. She wants to ask you how you found the confidence when you were modeling, and then she also wanted me and Yammin to input just how you find confidence in stressful moments.
I don't know. Apparently I was terrible at modeling, according to all the agents I was talking to in New York. They said I was like a block of wood and emotionless and would never like open up to people, like the photographers I work with. The 2 runway, in air quotes, shows that I did were Round La Rose and one other one, and those involved just standing still for an hour and a half while the press walked in and took pictures for Men's Fashion Week. And both times it was embarrassing and nervousness for me not because I hated the clothes, but because I just didn't feel comfortable in the clothes. Like what I normally wear is really concealing, and I was wearing like a skirt in one of them with high socks that look like stockings, and it's just not my taste. And I don't know, like just think of it like the same way I thought of lifeguarding. Just like there's 15 minutes and then 15 more minutes after that. Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good way of thinking about it.
I'm not good at modeling. I don't know if you know that.
That's my secret. I'm actually terrible at modeling. So I guess confidence in general. Take at least like 2 shots before you have to go and do it.
Don't say that, please.
No.
That's not
that kind of stuff.
I have
gross.
I have a kind of serious answer.
Go
kind
for
of
it,
like a maybe corny answer, but like start with fake confidence. Like even if you are not confident, sort of act like it, if that makes sense. Because they will see it as real confidence either way, and then when you'll start becoming more and more comfortable, and that fake confidence will like just slowly become real, and you won't even notice the transition.
Yeah,
that's usually.
I would 100% agree with that. I especially get very nervous around job interviews and things like that. So when, for example, yeah, dude, it's awful. It's a whole different kind of stage fright in a way where you feel like every movement, every word you say could directly impact your immediate future, and that's the most terrifying way to think about it. So I would obviously prepare beforehand. I'd be like, okay, this is what they could possibly ask me about, and here I'm going to draft some answers to
not going to
have it in my head.
Models anything. They don't say anything. Just walk out.
Well, I'm not speaking.
That's why this question split into 2 parts, one for you and one for us.
I'm speaking of confidence in general.
Asshole.
I'm not. I was talking about her modeling thing. I thought there was a
asshole.
whole
point. Well, she asked us about confidence in general, so I'm just saying part of being confident is also being prepared. So you want to be prepared before you're going ahead to do whatever you're going to do, and then when you're actually doing it, fake that confidence, as Yammin said, until you make it. Essentially, that's how I basically handle job interviews. I go in with super fake confidence. I basically become like almost a different person.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I feel that so much.
Like
yes.
If I could listen back to the phone interview of the interview I did with CBS that landed me the job, I would not be able to recognize myself. Probably. I'm just like, hey, how are you doing? How's your day? Can you hear me now? Great, let's get it started. Like, and I just like being so nonchalant about everything.
Exactly.
And then
make people laugh. People become much more comfortable and accepting of whatever you're going to do if you're making them laugh.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Even if it's like
every job interview I have, I try to make people like more comfortable that way. That way they're more accepting of the things that I do.
Yeah, same. I had the same kind of strategy slash philosophy where just kind of sprinkle in some humor there that feels like natural enough, and that obviously won't be controversial. Like, don't make jokes about stuffing guns into dead babies' carcasses.
Carcasses? Well, they're not
let's say don't start with that.
Don't make jokes right out of the gate. You look like you're trying too hard.
Yeah, exactly. So but that's basically how I nailed that interview that I had, and that actually landed me the job. So it worked out really well. So it is a preparation. Step 1, preparation thing. Step 2, fake it till you make it.
This is another one of the situations where we're all talking into an earpiece, and the person is like, you want a joke? No, wait, no, that's too soon for the joke.
They're like, do I say the dead baby's
joke? No, don't say that. Don't say carcass.
Carcass. Should I say corpse, or should I just not say the joke at all?
And the person interviewing is just like, I kind of like this. This is like spontaneous. I've never seen anyone talk to themselves before.
This is bold and innovative. Thank you for that email, Anna. Appreciate it. What time are we going on now?
50.
Yeah, that's good enough. Unless you want me to pull up another one.
We could do another one.
Yeah,
sure. Why the fuck not?
It's not every podcast I'm here.
I know.
Make the most of it.
Mr. President, I'm glad we have you on.
Have we talked about the...
I'm glad you guys let me back on. Thanks.
Have we talked about the mattress store money laundering conspiracy?
I don't care.
Okay.
I thought we were going to pull up another fan question.
Topic?
Yeah.
I feel like we've talked about this. I might have forgotten to delete it.
Y'all better know. If you bring it up and then we don't talk about it, that's douchey.
No, there's a bunch of other ones that we definitely haven't gone to. That's way too long.
Do the long way.
Don't do the long one. Shut up, Patrick.
No, that's
Pick a good one.
thing we've
Fuck you.
talked about extensively. People keep asking about Suicide Squad related.
Why?
I don't
Fuck
know.
you. Fuck them.
I don't think it's even like a joke.
Are we
at
the
this point.
Suicide Squad podcast? The Suicide Squad cast?
That's gonna.
A suicide podcast.
That's gonna be the.
Wait, no.
That's gonna be the title of this.
13
episode.
Reasons Why cast.
Okay, here is a good. These are super serious questions. I need answers. This is from the marvelous Jasmine. Why do the toys in Toy Story blink? What's the point? And when they blink, why is one of their eyes slower than the others?
What?
Why do the toys blink?
No, I heard you. I
think it's because if they were unblinking weirdos, that it'd be harder for kids to relate to them.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like alive, human.
That is the real answer.
That's
Hey,
horrifying,
Buzz.
Patrick.
Hey, what?
He's got his eyes wide open. He's not blinking. And
I
it's
think the
horrifying.
in-universe answer is that while toys obviously don't need to refresh the moisture in their eyelids because they don't have any, I think they were programmed that way by their toy maker masters to again make them more relatable.
Here's another. Here's something. They have
You wanna try that
fingers,
again?
but they're not humans. Why do they use their fingers?
They're not Why are they alive? If you want to, let's ask the real
I'm
questions.
saying,
They're freaking
shut
toys.
Up. I'm saying, like, if you're asking why they're using their eyelids, why are they using their fingers? You're trying to break this apart, and it doesn't matter. It's just like you can say like they were built to resemble people, and if you build a toy that doesn't have eyelids, then yeah, they're not going to use their non-existent eyelids. But you built a toy that has eyelids, why would it not use its eyelids?
This is actually a little bit more of a serious question that I actually have a very strong opinion on. Is it wrong to put sugar in spaghetti sauce? My mom said it is to take the bitterness out of the herbs and stuff, and I've literally had people tell me to walk into oncoming traffic for putting sugar in my sauce, so let's settle this debate.
I've never done
As
it.
someone who cooks pasta sauce and takes it very seriously, putting sugar in your sauce is perfectly acceptable.
That's what I thought. I thought a lot of sauces have a nice little sweet touch to them.
It is because
I don't like sweetness.
it's not even necessarily making the sauce sweet.
Lot,
it's just basically food chemistry.
Oh
The sugar, it's really that simple. The sweetness does cancel out some of the harshness of the herbs. It's really like basic shit. It's the same reason why people that get mad about pineapple on pizza are dumb, because that's basic food chemistry. Like sweet and salty go together naturally. Like it's basic food.
Okay, no. Hold on, hold the
All right,
phone.
those were two different.
You just
can't do that.
described like chemistry and how chemistry works, and then you said it's like that, and then how taste works. Some people like other things, but fuck those people. It's like,
That's exactly what I mean by food chemistry. Food chemistry is the like
Yeah, but some
resulting
people
taste.
have different palates, Pena. That's
Yeah,
not like a
that's
quantifiable chemistry thing. That's just how their brain works.
That's fine, and I'm just saying that
Pineapple on
It's
pizza
gross.
and a sprinkle of sugar in sauce are two
Also,
different things.
pineapples
The
don't
philosophy-
just taste like sweet. They taste like pineapple.
They
It's
have
bitter,
their own
It's like
flavor.
lemony stuff, and some people
It's
don't like that in
strong.
combination with cheese sauce and bread. Sorry, Pena. Jesus.
I'm just saying you don't have to like it necessarily, but the logic behind it is sound.
No, it isn't.
It's okay that you don't like
No, it isn't.
No,
It's still a
no,
sweet
it's
Because
not.
component.
when you bite into a pizza, you're gonna taste a chunk of pineapple and then bread and sauce on two different sides of your mouth. Whereas
That's
when
fine.
you eat
Then that's a
the
texture
sauce,
issue.
shut up, I'm talking. When you eat the sauce. The sugar's already incorporated because you made the sauce and stirred the sugar in. It's not like you put a dollop of sugar on top of your sauce and you're gonna take a bite of your spaghetti and get a mouthful of like half sugar, half thing. But there's chunks of pineapple on the pizza.
Alex, why aren't there other fruits on pizza?
There are. I literally just had an apple pizza today.
Gross.
You are fucking
Dude,
disgusting.
it's good.
You're not allowed to talk about food.
you
anymore.
want
I'm
to
sorry.
know a weird
You're
combination though?
canceled.
I've been making chicken recently. I've been using a lot of vinegar, apple cider, and apple sauce as the base for the marinade. Really good.
That makes
Fruits
sense.
on
Yeah, no.
chicken is really good.
No, that makes 100% sense. Yeah, I
It's
agree with you
tangy.
on
It's very good.
that. Patrick, real quick. This person included 4 questions. Those is why I've been working through them. For Patrick specifically, how did you like the Black Panther album? What's your favorite song, if you have one?
Ops.
I think you probably talked about that.
I've called it OPPS because the way it works is I say ops and then someone says how do you spell that and I go like OPPS so I just skipped this step. So, but it's ops.
Fair. And thoughts on the Teen Titans Go movie? Didn't know there was one. Oh, that's the one with like Nicolas Cage as Superman and Lil Yachty.
I might watch that just for fun.
I would watch that for fun. Yeah, honestly. Even though that show is weird because
bad.
I think it's really bad, but then I've seen a few pretty funny clips that are extremely meta on YouTube that are basically making fun of people who hate the show because they missed the original.
Because, well, it's not just that. They've also had cameos in like a different style, like the Young Justice style from the Young Justice characters, and they hyped up how serious they sound. And and then they says, I don't know, Aqua Lad comes in, he's like, not Titans, like Young Justice Go, and then it's like, we're going to Mission Alpha 7, and like talking about it in like serious military talk, and it's just like, you're not making me dislike it, you're making me miss it more. Like, you're not showing me how wrong there was a Vine, Tina Turner, I think is the name of the voice actor for Raven, she's a voice actress for a lot of people, and when she was on Vine, she made a Vine with all her co-stars on Teen Titans Go. And it basically said, it would just pan between the different people, and it said, "Hey, internet, shut up. We love Teen Titans Go." And I was just like, of course you do. You're getting paid. Like, of course you care about the show doing good and people liking it because you're getting paid.
That's fair. All right. Thanks for taking a look at this, and your podcasts are very interesting. Oh, and Patrick, drop a skincare routine. Damn it. Thank you, Marvelous Jasmine. For that
I broke out.
Do you do anything to your skin?
I have acne right there on my nose.
Wow, look at you.
He's got a speck on
I don't really do anything. So I don't eat a lot of sugar. Sugar does terrible things to your skin. If you eat a lot of chocolate, there was a really funny quote from I don't remember. It was on the Rooster Teeth podcast or the Not Always Open, the Achievement Hunter podcast. Jeff and Michael and a couple other people, and one of the guys said, "It's just like, dude, once I got a pimple on my dick," and then Jeff said, "Does your dick eat a lot of chocolate?" and it made me laugh really hard. But anyway, yeah, don't drink soda ever. Don't drink normal soda. Drink like Coke Zero or something like that if you can't find a substitute.
Not a sponsor unless
they fucking sponsor
they
me. Yeah.
Nice.
Clean your face always. Anytime you take a shower, scrub the shit out of your face. I know people say, like, "Oh no, you'll damage your skin." It's like, do you want acne or do you want nice skin?
All right, that's about it for this week. Then we are at 52 ratings on iTunes right now. So
we're on 52 out of 5 stars, guys.
Yeah, we're doing fucking fantastic. So if you want to go rate the show on iTunes, go do that shit. Leave a funny thing. We didn't get a funny thing from the other people, so you got to add some more. Do that shit. If you want to email us anything, or hit us up at prudedudes@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, that's at Prude Dudes. If you want to follow us at our individual accounts, I'm at AlexPenner97. Patrick is at It's Patrick Charlotte05, and Yammin is at It's _Yammin. Thank you again for listening, guys, and we'll see you again next week.
I was trying to scroll with my mouse.
Shut up and say goodbye.
I am. I was trying to scroll with my mouse, but I realized it was touching my table. Anyway, bye.
Fucking stupid.